we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Lauletta looking to throw on second down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Red Allison, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun on third down, Lauletta. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
This is Howard on second down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Trubisky now to throw on third down. It's grabbed over the middle by White. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 14 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 43. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Gotta go.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Lauletta after the interception. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram, well up over 100 yards. And one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention. So they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Finding his target, it's Cody Latimer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective, is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Lauletta trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Lauletta fresh off the pick 6. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got to run.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
Here we go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, Lauletta. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's got some space here. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hey, 18. Red, up. Hey, 18.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
All right, here we go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Sam Acho there for the stop. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Always got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A give to Howard. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
You see it? You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Detroit!
So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage, and they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time, but the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that. Series
to series, play to play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Trubisky. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 24.
18.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They run with Howard. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
You see it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Let's go.
On second down, here's Trubisky. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Trubisky to throw, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, here's Lauletta. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. Well, it's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking for Shepard deep. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now Stewart Stewart on first down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They run here with Stewart, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Throwing on third down, Lauletta. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. B.J. Goodson able to get him for a loss of about 3. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New York set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch at a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Lauletta now to throw it. A very solid gain of 27. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Green 39.
From the gun on third down, Loretta. And he fires one that's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail. Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive. And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too. No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, 18.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game. And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help. No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Running with Howard. There's some space here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. Now Cohen. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in. And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Gotta go.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now Howard. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Gun! No, check. Patriot! Here we go now. 3-19.
On first down, Loletta. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Loletta. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent, And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Chicago, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.